Hi, I'm that guy, Brickroad, that used to play video games on the YouTubes, and I thought I'd play one today. This is a little project that I started once before, not quite a year ago, and I kind of decided that streaming live was the wrong format for the project. So as you see, a small blue bubble appeared in the corner and banished the opening scene of Final Fantasy Mystic Quest off into the Shadow Realm, and we are now watching a PlayStation boot sequence. And that's because I am embarking on what ChatGPT thinks is going to be a 240-hour long journey involving the BizHawk Shuffler. What is the BizHawk Shuffler, you may add? Well, the BizHawk Shuffler is the latest dance craze that all the hot tamales are doing down at the gin joint. No, the BizHawk Shuffler is an emulator sorcery that takes a list of ROMs and shuffles them together. Not doesn't randomize them together. It's not a randomizer. We're not randomizing parts of Final Fantasy Mystic Quest into Final Fantasy VII and vice versa. That would be an archipelago kind of deal, which I have been playing a lot of recently. If you've seen any of my streams in the past year, you've seen me playing various archipelagos. This is not a randomizer. This is a shuffler. Every 45 to 125 seconds, BizHawk is going to save a state in whatever game I'm playing, put it on the shelf, and pick another game from the shelf to load it up. Every time you see this little bubble, and now we're here. So we're going to create a party in Final Fantasy McLegend 2. Magi, the symbol of great power, the legacy of the ancient gods who made this world. I don't think I've ever played Final Fantasy Legend 2 on the channel at any point. Since 2008, I started this friggin' YouTube channel. I've played like hundreds of games in Let's Play series and in streams and as part of randomizers and archipelagos. I don't think I've ever shown you guys Final Fantasy Legend 2. Except in the abandoned first attempt at this challenge, what I'm doing. I'm going to keep all the names lowercase, I think. Would be nice, wouldn't it? It would be nice to have all the names in lowercase letters so they actually look like names and kind of resemble maybe what they're supposed to be. So I should hope this. So this is the old save file from the previous version of this challenge when I tried to stream it. I have decided that streaming is the wrong format for the challenge. I've decided the format that I like is all the hipsters and cool kids on YouTube these days. Because I like to chase trends, you know. I like to do what everybody else is doing. No, the new trend is like that I'm seeing a lot of channels, especially like idle and incremental game channels that I watch, is like, man, make like a 3-hour long video that people don't watch, but they just put it on to fall asleep to. And look, guys, I'm gonna level with you. I just turned 44 last week. Like, that's speaking my language. I like to put on Minecraft is my go-to. I'll find like somebody's series of their perfect forever world Minecraft, where every video is an hour and a half long and there's 20 of them in a row, and most of the videos are just them planting a field or something. That's my go to sleep now at age 44. I'm an old done man. When I was a young child, games like Final Fantasy V were coming out. So yeah, this is what's happening. Is the shuffler is just going to continuously shuffle all the games together. So I've got 2 goals that I want to accomplish in this first episode. And whatever I record, I'm going to just try to render out and upload as 1 episode. And if it's 3 hours, it's 3 hours. That's just how it's going to be. But I do have some goals I want to set, because I had no idea how long this would all take. I know what games I've got in the shuffler, and some of them I know very, very well, and some of them I do not know very, very well. Some of them I almost said I barely know, but I do know all of them at least to some degree. But I basically described the challenge to ChatGPT and be like, just how long is this gonna friggin' take me, man? And at first it was like, oh, it's gonna take, like, what was the first? It's like 490 hours, and I'm like, that doesn't sound right. And the breakdown, I guess it just like basically just added up the how long to beat stats, right? There's a website, howlongtobeat.com, where you can find out how long games are. But it had estimations in there like, oh, like, you know, Final Fantasy 5 and Final Fantasy 4. These are 34, 36 hour long games. And like, guys, they're not. Maybe if you're never played Final Fantasy 5 before, like, yeah, maybe you could spend 30 hours playing through the story. That might be actually reasonable. I don't know. So I don't think that 490 hours was accurate. So I tried to like explain to the robot like what my qualifications were. That's a weird sentence to say. Like, I have to talk to the robot and tell it what my qualifications are. I'm like, look, I've done like solo runs in Final Fantasy 1. I've done like randomizers in 4, 5, and 6. I've played all these games like a million times. Because one of the things it was saying was that Final Fantasy 1 was going to take like 30 hours because of all the grinding and all the like exploration. And I'm like, I don't have to do any of that. Right? There's not going to be any grinding in Final Fantasy 1. There's not going to be any exploration. I do have a cheat sheet here of the parties I'm going to build and what I'm going to name them. Because unfortunately, BizHawk it's great as an emulator. It's like the only emulator that I use anymore, and I use it for everything. But it stops being reasonable at the PlayStation 1. I don't know if it doesn't have a PlayStation 2 core, or if it like does and it's like in a weird beta state and it doesn't work very well. I'm not sure like the jury's kind of out on that. I don't know much about it. I'm not that into PS2 emulation, but like if I were into PS2 emulation, like I could have slapped Final Fantasy X, Final Fantasy X-2, Final Fantasy 12. We could have all of this. Oh, the Paramikian Empire. That's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. That we've got the Paramikian Empire. Let's just Speed 8 new game. Oh, I guess I do have to name the bros here. We're not going to complicate things. I'm just going to go with, you know, the standard normal names for the peoples. That's Leon. This is Mirga. Mirga, if you ever look at like her artwork, like her actual like character design artwork, it's ridiculous. Her outfit is ridiculous. I can't even describe to you what she wears if you look at her like character artwork, because YouTube will flag the video and demonetize it. So these guys have to kill you. The pack of Dick Knights here, they got to take you out. I wonder if anybody's actually tasked like a way to win that first fight in Final Fantasy 2. That would be funny, wouldn't it? Like, I'm sure that video exists. Like, it's somebody out there. There's got to be like a 1 in a million chance that you actually land damage on the Dick Knights, and then like a 1 in a million chance that they don't hit you when they attack. Like those dice rolls have to be in the system somewhere, right? And this woman, this sorcerer, why is she here? We're playing the SNES versions of these 3 games, 4, 5, and 6. I decided to go with those versions over the GBA versions arbitrarily. Let's be honest. One version's not really better than the other. There's pros and cons to all of them. I could get into the nitty gritty of why play one over another. No point doing any of that, I don't think. These days, I do tend to play the SNES versions of these games more often because of how much Archipelago I play. Final Fantasy IV and VI both have absolutely terrific randomizers that I love in the Archipelago. Final Fantasy V's randomizer is a conversation that we need not have at this juncture. But I mentioned goals that I have for this first recording session, and the first goal is just to get a good amount of footage. Just get a good, I don't know if it's gonna be 2 hours or I don't know what's gonna be, but like enough that like somebody could put it on in the background when they got like a long day at work, or like they're stuck at home with the kids, or they're trying to fall asleep. You don't have to watch the whole video. You're not gonna watch all 490 hours of me playing every single one of these Final Fantasy games. I get it. But the other goal is I want to get my parties established in the games that require parties to be established. Because some of these games, like Final Fantasy II, you just get whatever the game gives you, right? You just get Firion and the boys together. But in other games, I actually have to build my party from scratch. And I want to get those parties established, I think. Oh, it's not Minwu in this fan translation. His name is just Min. Everybody's waiting for us. Oh, yeah. I think what I need to do in this game really stabbed me in the back the first time I attempted this challenge. Are we calling it a challenge? It's not really a challenge. Nothing challenging about playing Final Fantasy games. The first time I attempted this project, this game really stabbed me in the back. Because it's the worst game ever made, and because the game systems barely function on any level, and it's awful, and it's not fun, and the feedback is terrible, and the leveling up systems don't work. Like, because of all those reasons, I got into a situation in Final Fantasy II where I slogged my way through a dungeon, one of the early dungeons. I have to learn, I have to say, wait. Yeah, I've got to learn Wild Rose. Wild Rose, Joseph's Sled. Got it. We're out of here. I got myself into a situation where... I actually have to look at my notes here. We're going to go with a fighter named Bash. We're going to go with a Blabelt named Vaughn. We're going to go with a Redum. I decided that we can't have every Final Fantasy game in the shuffler, that I would... The games that I can't have because they're on systems that BizHawk doesn't... it doesn't recognize, I would like bring the casts from those games over into the names of parties. So my Final Fantasy I crew is named after the Final Fantasy XII crew. And I think that's cool. I think that's a cool way of doing it. I'm a cool person. My mom thinks I'm cool. I was saying something about Final Fantasy II. Man, I'll tell you what's going to happen is, like, the shuffler, I'm just going to lose my train of thought repeatedly, aren't I? It's just... The whole thing is just going to be... like me starting to explain something, but then the little bubble's going to appear every 45 to 125 seconds. And then my train of thought is going to... There's a name for this phenomenon. I can't remember what it is. There's like a memory thing where, like, if you have an idea in like a room of your house, but you have to go into another room to do the idea. Like, the idea is I'm going to go to the fridge and get a bottle of water or something, right? But like the act of walking through a door psychologically like primes your brain to be like a loading screen in your memory, and it like flushes out the old memories and lets you make, and then like you forget, you like walk into a room and forget why you're in there. Like, there's a name for this phenomenon. It's a real thing. I didn't make this up. Maybe I made this up. I don't know. The first thing I'm going to do in this, I'm going to... No, that's the wrong button. Oh, everybody's in the front row already. Excellent. That's where I want them. The question is, do I want to keep... No, I want to take away all their hand weapons. R&L button's not going to do anything in this old ass game. Brickard, what are you doing? There we go. You're just wearing clothes. Her clothes are wild, like I suggested. Like, they're crazy. Oh, and there's a seed of free enterprise in here that I thought would be fun. Like, on top of everything else, I am doing a randomizer. So here's my new game. That's a cool color scheme on Edward. I like that a lot. So I've got to complete all these objectives. I got to complete 8 of these objectives in free enterprise. So let's just, I feel like for a randomizer window, I think we go green a little bit, like a little green. Maybe a little bit of blue. Oh, you know what? Yeah, let's match that Edward we got. It's like he's got like a teal kind of thing going on. We can match that, right? We can get in there like this. Yeah, there we go. All right. So we want all this on fast, whatever. It's all great. Good. Names. Name distinguishers. We're going to need those on. Actually, I'm just going to go to the naming way, I think. I purposely made the settings of this free enterprise seed. I did a little something special to them. First of all, I guess we're just starting with Excalibur. We start with a key item. I guess ours is Excalibur. Get some potions, some tents, some potions, some tents. Ooh, Artemis bow. I didn't think it was going to give me an Artemis bow. Edward 3 says, let's go, Edward D. Yeah, so maybe I won't spoil the surprise of what I did to the settings of this free enterprise seed. Maybe you guys can figure it out if you're watching. All right, this is the next game where I actually have to build a party. So we're going to go into FF1. New game. And the party I've decided on for this run is going to be 4 black mages. So this is going to be the prince himself. Oh, you only get 6 letters in that game. That's going to... You only get 6 letters per name. That's going to complicate things for me on my 4th character. There's the King's Shield. His full name doesn't fit, but that's his nickname, so it's good. And the chef, I'm not going to be able to fit Prompto because it's 7 letters. What is 6? You know what 6 letters? I guess Prompto is just going to get shafted in this run, and we're going with Aranea instead. Great. So this is going to be my party for Final Fantasy 1 Dawn of Souls. The first time I attempted this project, I did all black mages in Dawn of Souls, and then I did no black magic at all in my FF1 party, and that just turned out to be a mistake. You want to have some black magic, so I went with a red mage this time, instead of fighter, thief, black belt, white mage, which is what I did originally. And I've done every version of every party. I played that game 6 million times. But this time, fighter, black belt, red mage, and black mage. Perfectly good party. I've used it before. It's really strong. So we're playing Final Fantasy 1, Dawn of Souls, but not Final Fantasy 2. I'm just gonna do the first one. I just unequipped you guys. And we gotta sell off all that old equipment. Sell that. Is there armor here? I don't even know. Not in this store. Because I think Guy and Furion start with leather armor, but yeah, you've got leather. You've got leather, but not the girl. The girl doesn't start with, she's got clothes. No, she needs to get leather armor, and she needs to not die until she's got some hit points. In the first run of this project, I was fighting a boss in one of the early dungeons, and I got into the case where, like, my party wasn't strong enough to actually inflict damage. Like, I couldn't damage the boss, but also, like, the boss couldn't kill me very quickly. And I realized it was going to, because we're only swapping to this game once every, like, an average of 80, like, minutes or something. Although we've been in there 3 or 4 times at this point. It just happened. Like, I just walked through a door of a room and I completely forgot what I was talking about. My train of thought's just gone. It's so wild, dude. Yeah, give you this. Give you this. No, but what I ended up having to do in Final Fantasy II, I'm like, it's going to take hundreds of swaps for this boss to finally kill me. So what I did is I just started the game over from the beginning. Not cool, but it is what we had to do. Let's go ahead and get lit, yo. And then we'll go kill Garland. That's the first thing you do in Final Fantasy I. There are games in the shuffler that we haven't seen pop up yet, and I'm hoping I did some testing to make sure that they would all pop up. But I haven't seen them all pop up yet. We're still waiting on some. And I'm hoping it's not going to do something silly like... I mean, if it crashes, it's not a big deal, because it makes a save state every single time it shuffles. The worst thing that can happen is I can lose less than 2 minutes of state. That's the worst thing that can happen. Because I'm shuffling every 125 minutes anyway, I can't ever get more than 2 minutes ahead of myself. So, like, if it does crash, I guess that'll be the end of the episode, but I will have all my progress up to that point. I can just boot it back up, and it'll be great. I don't need to be fighting imps, but I am fighting imps. That's just what I'm doing. So when we get back to Final Fantasy II, my plan is to just start training people bare knuckle. Oh, speaking of... Oh, my Final Fantasy III party is going to be... Monsieur Clive, and then this is going to be... Jill. I guess I could use this double L, but... Nah. Miss me with that double L. And I just think Gav is cooler than Joshua. I'm sorry, but that's just how it's going to be. And then this last one... The Ever Loyal. There we go. Shucks, we're in a pit. And we will try to get out of this pit. Ah, we're killing goblins in 2 Final Fantasy games at once. Feels good. Feels smooth. Alright, so I've got 3 of my parties established. We're just waiting on Legend 2 to come back around. Oh, the other thing that's really going to throw me off is that half of these games use... There's 3 different settings. It can be circle to confirm and X to cancel, like in Final Fantasy V, or it could be X to confirm and square to cancel, like I've got set up in the Famicom games, or it could be X to confirm and circle to cancel, which is what it's going to be in the PlayStation games. And there is no way to standardize that, like, at the emulator level, to make it the same in all of the games I'm playing without problems. Like, the PlayStation games, I think Final Fantasy VII especially, if you do go in and configure X and circle to be switched around, to make X confirm, there are still, like, menus and mini games in Final Fantasy VII that won't respect that. It's It's nuts. So I'm just gonna deal with it. So the Famicom games, it's gonna be because I have square and X mapped to my like Famicom buttons. It's gonna be X to confirm, square to cancel. In the Super Famicom games, it's gonna be circle to confirm and X to cancel. And then in the PS1 games, it's gonna be X to confirm and circle to cancel. And it's gonna drive me crazy. All right, let's just do the checks, forehead. That's not the checks. We are not going to get into any combat with the Edwards for a long time. For a long time. Like, I can get this thing. Hey, there's Edward. Got a change rod, got a heal potion. I usually don't use the press R to discard button correctly. Also, I've learned that Rose's house has... Is it Rose's house or Sid's house? Yeah, there it is. I like never get that pot because I never knew that there was anything in Rose's house to get. Shows what I know. I'm not the very smartiest is something that I've learned, but so in Free Enterprise you basically start out by going around and getting all the chests. And this will give us enough equipment. What I'm really looking for is bows and arrows. Bows and arrows are going to be our lifeblood starting out. I could have... Well, I gotta hit the naming way too. Don't let me forget. Before I leave Baron, we're going to have to naming way it up. Cool, cool. Let's go over to the Chocobo Forest. I want to go look for Dad. So we got the 12 crew locked in, and we got the 15 crew locked in, and we've got the 16 crew. Well, there's not really a crew in 16. It's really just the Clive show starring Clive featuring Torgal. But go to school, tell Mr. S that you're leaving. I will do exactly that. We have to find 77 Maggie. And here's my companions. Oh, I don't have the little monster calculator to know what meat will do when I eat it with my monster. I can skip this little intro. Great. I would love to. Ooh, wait a minute. We need to config. Always dash while moving. And we want different window color, don't we? You know what? Little bit of purple. I think that little bit of purple. We're good. We're good with that little... How much Mizunny do I have? I got 500 Mizunny. And we're going to go fight Garland. That's what you do in the first thing in Final Fantasy 1. Oh, right. Magic is cheaper. And everything's cheaper in this game. Cool. Cool, cool mountain. And we start with clothes already. Oh, we've already got clothes. What else do we have? We got a knife and clothes. I think we're good. I think we roll. No, we don't. We buy potions. We buy some potions. And I really don't need to save. Well, I do need to save in case I get like a game over, I guess. It would be pretty gnarly to get a game over. We'll just let the PlayStation boot sequence happen again. Hopefully the saving works properly in the PlayStation games. That would be awful. Get a game over in one of these and then have to start... I mean, that would kill the project. Starting one of these games over from the beginning. Make it more interesting for sure. New game. Opening CGI cutscene that we're probably going to have to load into 3 or 4 times. This is a game that I love more and more every time I play it. Adore this game. Absolutely adore it. I feel like it's kind of a black sheep, or it was at one point. But, this is the game I think should have gotten the like high def remake treatment. All right, I want a human man. We're gonna name him Snog, and then I want a Bab, who we're going to name Fung. And then I want a rabbit, and we're going to name him Sazhands. All right. And Mr. S is going to join us going out of the Cave of North. I guess I'm not going to worry about the monster calculator for today because I think we get the really, really, really good monster in Ashura's world, which isn't for a little while anyway. But we'll start with flame. We'll start with a longsword. We'll do some flame, gun, and fire. Terrific. Now, the real nuts and bolts of the party are going to be loading up our rabbit with agility gear is what we really want to do. In 2, the first step is to go outside and save and just start grinding. Just like start grinding like right here in these woods until everybody's got bare knuckle boxing level 2. Ooh, Maria with the early crit. Look at that. Look at him go. And these guys might poison me, and if they poison me, I gotta walk all the way back in town, and I gotta buy a pure potion, because you can't just stay at the inn. Look what just happened to me. Look what just happened. Out loud, I said it. So immediately, I've got to go all the way back in town, all the way to the item shop, find out who sells the pure potion, antidote. $200! Oh my goodness, that's a lot. Oh wait, I'm not poisoned anymore. Hold on. Poison doesn't stick. I just bought an antidote for 200 gold for no reason. Okay. There are status ailments that stick in this game. I guess poison's just not one of them. And you need different levels of white magic for the ones that stick versus the ones that don't. So you get both Esuna and Basuna. There must be a more powerful version of poison that can happen to you later. Like viral infection or something. I had the hardest time figuring out what to do about the aspect ratio of this project, because most of the games I'm running are in this like 4x3, right? The old NES, SNES, PS1, all the like 4x3 in this nice square, quadrilateral town, population me. But the one Game Boy Advance game I'm running, I don't think the Game Boy Advance was like a widescreen. Like it wasn't 16:9, but it was wider than 4x3. And the shuffler doesn't play well with that. Like the emulator wants to keep its one window open and just boot each game into that one window. And depending on whether Like, whatever game got picked randomly first is the aspect ratio all the other games wanted to boot into. And that was a problem, because anytime Dawn of Souls or Legend 2 booted up, it would get, like, squashed or stretched. Unless Dawn of Souls booted up first. I actually had to go out, I had to test this specifically. If Dawn of Souls booted up first, then all of the games tried to stretch, and it just looked awful. So I've actually got to play the game. I got to play everything in full screen. We need to... Yeah, here, we're going to change the names. I would like to change my name. Thank you. So this is going... You know, this one's almost good. I'm happy to stick with Edward. That's going to be Edward. And then this guy... this is going to be Udward. Oops. Oh, I messed everything up. I'm like trying to go fast so I can get this done before the next swap. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so we're rocking Edward and Udward. Cool. Let's go open up every treasure box that we can possibly reach. I like to start with the Chocobo Forests. I don't know what kind of problem solver you are. That's just the kind of problem solver I am. It helps my brain, and I don't have a tracker or anything, so it helps my brain to just get all the Chocobo Forests taken care of. Just so I know that they're done. So we're not even going to see a fight in Free Enterprise for... We might not this entire session that I'm playing. I do have the 4 parties that I wanted to become established, which is nice. I haven't seen all the games that we have in the shuffle yet, though. I think I'm still missing one game that I have not seen pop up, and it's a little alarming. Like, I'd hate to... If there's, like, a weird glitch or something, like it just didn't load, I don't think it's a big deal, because if I start the next session, I can just throw the game into the pile and it'll load. Like, I can add games arbitrarily to the shuffler, is what I'm saying. Unarmed is just the best weapon in this game, and it's like just the easiest way to do damage. So that's kind of why I'm focusing on it. Magic is a trap. Don't ever use magic in Final Fantasy II. There's like 2 spells worth using. I might give somebody Cure Magic, maybe. We'll see how it goes. It's almost always better to use tomes as items than cast spells. Like, trying to level up your magic in this game is never a good idea. I don't want Maria to die. I think she can take one more hit. From some gremlins here. Now I've got gremlins happening in 3 Final Fantasy games at a time. Like, here's some more. These ones just happened. Level up, level up. Oh, first level ups are the Onion Kids. I guess that always happens. That's a scripted sequence. I did not have a good naming scheme the first time I tried this project. I just kind of gave everybody just kind of random hat names. And I started out with all uppercase names, and then I forgot that I was doing that, so half the games had uppercase and half the games had... It was just a mess. Going all lowercase for this run. We're gonna try to pretend like we're professionals. I do feel kind of bad that the Final Fantasy 3, like 3D version kids don't get a shout out in our run. It would have been classy if I named these guys like Lunith and whatnot, but I had to make way for the 16 crew somehow. I had to get them in here. I guess I didn't have to. I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to wake up this morning. Yeah, this like just slightly violet off blue. I think it's gonna work. It's gonna work, I tell you. Enjoyable. We did have to sit through some cutscenes in the Dawn of Souls version, but we're gonna pass the NES version super fast. It's you're thinking like Black Mage, that's like a challenge run. It's not. In Dawn of Souls, I'm convinced 4 Black Mages might be the best party you could possibly make. I can't think of a stronger party in this game. It's nuts how crazy strong Black Mages get. We are going to save the game over this file. Look at that. 4 hours of playtime over the course of however many swaps that was. We got all 4 crystals lit at level 37. That's how far that version of the project made it. But that version of the project stalled out, and I didn't want to go back and finish it. I don't know really why I'm fighting those gremlins. I probably will skip cutscenes when I can, but you cannot skip most of these cutscenes in the PlayStation game. There's a lot of scenes in Final Fantasy IX you can skip just by not doing the active time events or whatever, which I usually just ignore. But I don't think I've seen 9 pop up yet in the rotation, and I'm getting a little worried. Where's my boy with the rat tail? I'm not sure I know where physically this fight takes place. Just this random, barren, rocky wasteland within walking distance of Balamb Garden? Almost through the first cutscene. Meanwhile, these guys... Oh, I'm back on Circle is confirmed for this game. Yep, that's not gonna... That's not gonna mess me up too much. I gotta change the windows. I can't have these standard blue Final Fantasy windows. We're gonna do maybe the forest. I don't know if I've done the forest in a while. One of your window options is a forest. Well, we got to kill some mans first. We have to commit some war crimes before we're allowed to change our window. I think 6 is the game that I'm least worried about because it's the easiest game ever made. Just every step of the way, the game just wants you to win massively. Unless you're playing the randomizer and you get a really weird draw early on. Alright, config. And we're not going to have time to change our window. Fine. We don't need to change the window right this second. I'm perfectly capable of being patient and waiting until such time where I can change the window for realsies. Do I use the south wind here, or do I save it for Jin later? 'Tis the question, and I always forget which is best. There's many versions of this game, and usually when Final Fantasy games get remade, like the remake, except for 7, obviously, the 7 remake series, it's completely its own thing. But usually, if they're just doing like a remaster or like a releasing on a new console, the game's not that different. And that's usually true even for the versions of the game that add in like bonus stuff. Like the GBA games like all add in bonus stuff. Final Fantasy IV, you get like bonus dungeons. And they give you the option to build your own party if you want it. But like the main game is pretty much just Final Fantasy IV. But all the versions of Final Fantasy III are very different from each other. It's really only true of Final Fantasy IV, the 3D version. I can drink the water. Sure, I think I was punching that guy. We'll find out here in a second. Yeah, I was punching that guy. I was punching the stupid hat off his grinning face. And just by putting in the commands, just by entering the command, you gain experience for the weapon type you're attacking with. So if we're unarmed and we're not wearing a shield, we're gaining some experience in our fisticuffs weapon type. So the glitch is, the exploit we're going to be using later is, you can put in a command and it'll go to the next character, and then you can cancel back to the first character. And you will still gain that experience for your fisticuffs, okay? So, like, I could do something like this, like that, and go back to Firion and just get as much Firion fist experience as I want. Problem is, you can't do that with whoever's in the bottom rank of your party. Guy can't do that, because when Guy confirms his opponent, that's the end of the combat round. He's the last character who's awaiting input. He's the last unit that I have on the field. So, what we're going to do is level up to level 2 Fisticuffs on all characters, just enough where they can assuredly defeat all of these like low-level monsters around here in one shot. And it shouldn't take too terribly long, but like once that's happened, we can go do the first storyline mission. And then when we come back to Altair, it'll put Min in the party, and then Min will occupy that bottom slot. And then we'll be able to power level all 3 characters' Fisticuffs skill just by canceling commands. So while we're making progress in all of these other Final Fantasy games, and fighting monsters, and seeing cutscenes, and all of these colorful characters and the lives they lead, the Final Fantasy II crew will just be canceling commands. Over and over and over and over again. It won't be fun. It won't be interesting. It won't be acceptable. But it will be Final Fantasy II. I am, frankly, flabbergasted by the amount of Final Fantasy II apologetics that I see nowadays. Like, it had been kind of brewing for a while, but it really kind of, after the Pixel remasters came out, I started seeing it everywhere. Like, apparently, people are just like, oh, Final Fantasy II is a good game, actually. And it's not, but the prevailing opinion seems to have left me behind. It's not the first time in my life that that's happened. It won't be the last time. You know, times change, you find yourself on the wrong side of history. It's something that you have to put up with when you turn 44, like I did recently. I don't think any version of Final Fantasy II is good. I think every version of Final Fantasy II is absolutely bovine feces. The various remakes and things, the GBA, the PSP, the PS1, the Pixel. I haven't specifically played the Pixel remastered version of 2, but like the problems I have with this game go deeper than just have nicer graphics and maybe a quality of life change here and there. Like, I really do think it's foundationally an awful game. But it's in my rotation. So I think I've got 13 or 14 games. I don't know in the list. I think I got 13. I was thinking about adding a 14th, and I decided against it. But yeah, I'm just going to be spending 1/13 of this video series complaining about this game. And it's terrible music, and it's awful. I mean, the graphics are fine. Yeah, they're whatever. I think they're like muddier and less distinct than the Final Fantasy 1 graphics. But you know, like, the world just turned against me. I just woke up one morning and everybody was like, Final Fantasy II is fine, actually. And I don't know when it happened or why it happened. I wonder what other stuff that's going to happen with over the years. I'll tell you this. I don't think there's ever been anything that I've really loved as a minority opinion. Like a game that I've really loved, that most people like absolutely hate, right? That people have come around on. I don't think I've ever woken up on the right side of history on something like that. It's always the other way around. We need to config? No, we need to circle button config. I'm fine with all this. Color. Should we just do red? For Final Fantasy V. Like this kind of... What do we think? This kind of like rust... This rust color. Save might be a good idea. Yeah, let's get rid of... It was purple at one point. It's no longer purple. I considered doing Fiesta rules for my Final Fantasy V run, and then I considered doing like the standard Final Fantasy V run, but also doing like a second, like a GBA version with Fiesta rules. But in the end, just vanilla Final Fantasy V, I think, is the way to be. Oh, and more goblins. We're going to be fighting goblins in... What are we up to now? 4 or 5 games? Fight them. I'll tell you this, though. They're ugly bastards in every game. Every game they're in. The curly-toed little sneaks. Alright, where are we going next? Oh, we're fighting goblins. That's what we're doing. Happy to do it. Oorah. So we're going to be passing the Earthgift Shrine here. Earthgift Shrine in this little cave just to our north. Don't want to fight this? I guess I'll fight it. Why not? Is a new bonus dungeon for Dawn of Souls. And I'm going to play the bonus dungeons. Why not? But it's not going to happen until we've cleared most of the base game. We're going to have to use 2 of our potions, or maybe Gladio's going to die here. That could be interesting as well. Very interesting. Yeah, let's use our potions up. Great. I'm not sure I'm into this fight. I think we bail on this. That's a lot. That's a lot of dogs. Oh, and Gladio's dead. We are probably going to have to reload. Let's wait and see if we actually die. Let's see if we take down Garland with just what we've got here. You can't knock us all down because your dog party already knocked down some of us. I would say that I would like to get through the opening scenes in all of the games by the end of this first session. Don't think that's reasonable, considering I still don't think we've seen Final Fantasy IX pop up in the rotation. And that's got a very, very long introduction scene. Oof. What have I gotten myself into? It said it's going to be 490 hours. I don't think it's going to take nearly that long. I don't think we're going to be at it for that, but I don't know. Even if it's not, like... even if I upload 2 and 3 hour videos, like, it's going to take forever, but... I'm okay. I'm okay with it. I like to talk, you know? I like to talk in no-pressure situations. First time I tried this project, I was doing it on stream. And streaming something like this is really, really good if you either have like a really, really active chat with a bunch of people watching all at once that you could be talking to while you're playing, or with like what I'm doing now, where I don't have a chat up at all, and I have no idea what you're saying to your screen right now in your drunken stupor, in your weird like zealot cult bunker that you live in. I assume. I don't know. I don't know your life. But my streams like don't always fall into one of those two categories. Like usually I just end up with one or two people that I'm talking to. Here's Final Fantasy IX at long last. We're gonna get to this. We're gonna get to the PlayStation boot sequence in 9, and that's gonna be about it. But yeah, in a stream, there's like always pressure to talk to the people who are watching. But if the chat's not active, you don't know who is watching. Like I always know, okay, I've got a couple people watching, but nobody's active in chat. Should I still talk to them, or should I just explore the stream of consciousness, kind of like I am now? And like talking to chat is great, and exploring the stream of consciousness is great. But like shifting gears, going back and forth between the two, which is what you have to do if you're doing a lot of late night streams on a channel that's not popular, like mine is. I don't mind streaming to like 5 people. I think that's absolutely fine. But there's like an uncanny valley there where you're streaming to like one active chatter for hours on end. That's an interesting situation to be in. Oh, you know what? I gotta run all the way up here. I have encounters turned off. Edward and Udward will be safe. I have recently learned that there are many in here. That might actually be usable on one of the Idwards. And then up here, cool. And I don't think there's anything in here. All right, cool. Is there a carrot somewhere in the body of the Chorkabort? I don't know, and I'm not going to look for it. If there is, there is. Okay, let's go ahead and equip some stuff. Oh, you start with a great bow and ice arrows. Oh, dude. That's actually great. Edward, you're going to be our main boy. I'm going to give that to you. Let's give you all the best stuff. Let's get you kitted out first. Because I can always make the other Edward hide. Yeah, let's use the ice arrows up first. And let's put you in the back. You know, I can put them both in the back for now. Edward and Udward. Cool. Let's hit the rest of these Chocobo forests, then start opening up. Oh, I can go into Troya and get some stuff. Not a lot of stuff. I'm already off script. I've already gone outside of my comfort zone in Free Enterprise. I said I was going to start with the Chocobo Forest, and then I didn't. No, we're not going to stick with Butts. We're going to give him his real, actual name. The Butts joke is just so played out, you guys. It's so, like, everybody's like, Butts. And it's like, yeah, I get it. Butt is a funny word. I love Butts. Who doesn't? Great philosopher from a previous era, from my time in the long, long ago of the 20th century, once said, I like big butts, and I cannot lie. But I'm not going to name the character Butts. I'm going to name the character Martz. I'm going to go get my Phoenix Down that exists in the woods down here. Did you know there was a Phoenix Down in the woods? There is. And I feel like I always end up using it, like in the first couple boss fights. What was I doing? I was changing my window. Yeah, what do we think? I don't know, too loud? Like, can we pull this? We don't want to pull it all the way back. We don't want to like lose the highlights of it either. We can get like this dark forest motif going. Yeah, like kind of this black in the background there. Oh yeah, there we go. Like nice and dark down at the bottom. Like I ship it. All right, let's. This is the fight that I don't think we're gonna win. I think Garland's got our number here. I pulled out crazier wins though than what Ignis and Aranea are doing here. I feel real bad for Prompto. Like it's my dog's namesake, dude. I have a dog named Prompto that I named after Prompto. And I can't even put in Prompto's name. But Aaron, oh, she doesn't have any thunder left. So we're dead. We're definitely dead. We're big boy dead. Fantastic. He knocked us all down. I mean, he said he was going to. We really just need the Black Mages alive, and they'll each get 2 thunders off. Yeah, see, didn't even have to wait for the next swap to get our real attempt going. We might smoke him right here with 4 blasts if we get all our turns off before he gets to go. Not quite. Alright, hang in there, Noct. We're gonna bring it home. Right, bosses get double hit points in this version, I think. What was I doing? I'm in Troya, and I shouldn't be, but I am. And there's like 1 pot to get, I think. Yeah, I can't get in there. Oh, I can get in here. No, this is worth doing. We're just going to sell most of this gear. A headband, though. A little bit more attack power. Oh, another headband. Here you go, Udward. I got something for your gross empty head. The Dwarves cannot use a tiara. Oh no, is that what I'm calling my party in this game? The Dwarves? I said I wasn't going to spoil the changes I made to the seed, but I guess I did just kind of give away the game. Nobody's listening to this. Everybody put this on. They fell asleep during the first hour. Like, nobody can hear this anymore. Y'all are asleep, and I'm glad that I was able to help you fall asleep. And sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes, when I put on like a Minecraft video, like my perfect start to Minecraft or whatever, and I fall asleep during it, like the next day, I'll put it back on and find the place in the like the last spot in the video that I remember watching. You know what I mean? Put it back on. Watch the rest of it. I don't do that a lot. But maybe you'll do it. Maybe you'll watch the first 30, 40 minutes of this nonsense, fall asleep, wake up the next day, be like, hey, you know what? I kind of actually want to watch Brick Road play Final Fantasy 1 and Final Fantasy 2 and Final Fantasy 3 and Final Fantasy 4 and Final Fantasy 5 and Final Fantasy 6 and Final Fantasy 7 and Final Fantasy 8 and Final Fantasy 9 and Final Fantasy Mystic Quest and Final Fantasy Legend 2 and Final Fantasy Dawn of Souls. And oops, all Edwards. Let's try to save the South Winds. Or Jin. I think that's the safe play. I think that's the good play. I think the Land Turtle will go down. Because, like, what if you wasted the South Winds? Well, I guess you would just restart the game, right? What was I doing? Oh, this must be free enterprise. Yeah, because I've got an airship. Of course it is. Ninja Garb. Believe it or not, the Dwarves can use that. Oh, they can't. Never mind. Got ahead of myself. This looks like a Chocobo Forest, but it is not. But this is... I think this is the last one, right? I'm actually not sure. Okay, I think what I want to do then is start looting dungeons. We'll start here. Start looting the rest of the towns and dungeons and all the good stuff. A diamond ring. We're just getting geared up so we can take on the first few bosses, which will get us leveled up. Believe it or not, this is not going to be a challenge run of Free Enterprise. Edward is actually a ridiculously good character in the randomizer. Especially if we get a certain key item. What did I put in my shops, by the way? Do the shops even have anything? That looks like a regular shop. Oh yeah, no, shops are vanilla. That's probably not great, but... I got a weird deja vu. We were just in Final Fantasy IV, and here we are in Final Fantasy IV again. This guy's playing Final Fantasy IV twice. What's our color for this? Do we have a green? Well, we're going to have a green in 6, because we're going with like the dark forest motif. We got like a teal. We got like a rust color. We got like a dark blue. We'll do like... We have a purple. We don't really have a magenta. We do like a gray. Like a kind of blue-gray, like a fog. Like a fog color. Oh, there's no dash button in this game. I'm so slow. I'm the slowest man. Alright, let's take this down a little bit. And then make this all black. Yeah. I'm into it. You know what? I'm into most of it. I think this color needs to come down some. Ooh, that's better. That's better. But this a little too loud, maybe? All right. I'm pretty happy with that. I wish the top was a little darker, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. I'm not a beggar. I'm not begging for anything. Usually I don't mess around with the colors in Final Fantasy VI, just because it's such a pain in the butt, because you got to change the color in like 6 places. Meanwhile, these guys are on their way to fight Garland. Oh, I didn't buy a tent. I don't need a tent. Did I buy a potion? I have nothing. Oh, the menu buttons are going to be different in every game, too. Someone's going to want the start menu. Someone's going to want the triangle button. Like, it's just, I'm all over the place. It's all over the place, and... You might say we're tiny, we're toony, we're all a little loony. And I still don't think we're actually into Final Fantasy IX yet. I think we were on the boot, like the boot sequence screen. We haven't actually started the new game yet. To see Garnet in the in the sea in her little boat. But yeah, I thought it would be classy because I can't represent all of the Final Fantasy games in the shuffler. Simply because technology has not caught up with us yet. The PS2 era games and the later games. I actually don't think all of the later games would work well in the shuffler. Like, I wouldn't want a 10. Like 10 is just super linear and super long, and but I think 15 would work pretty well. I wouldn't mind 15 in the shuffler. Jaguar's meat. I will eat it. No, I won't. The baby dragon's better than anything else going on right now. Show me. Yeah. I think this is what I want for now. And then later, probably Saz will take the lead. And we'll get rid of this old party. Oh, yeah, I had a pixie. The pixie's our goal. Oh, I guess I went with all girls in that party. Oh, well, this time we didn't. This time I went with a human man instead of a human not man. Oh, we don't get the Asigaragaru's meat. But basically, there's one meat I want to eat early on, and then when we get to Ashura's world, which is the second world of the game, there's another meat I want to eat. And those two meats will land my monster on being a pixie. Oh, I guess we did make it into the opening cinematic here. And then Pixie is just a super good monster to carry you really, really late in the game. There's an app that I have on my laptop called the Saga 2 Monster Calculator that works for both Final Fantasy Legend 2 and for the 3DS remake Saga 2. That will tell you for a given type of monster what eating a type of monster's meat will turn them into. Because there's no rhyme or reason to it. There's no feedback to it. It's not random because the meat will always affect you in the same way in every instance, but it's arbitrary. It's totally, totally arbitrary. I think with my whole heart, Final Fantasy IX is going to be the last game in the shuffler that gets finished. I think we're going to get to a point where it's going to be Final Fantasy IX, Final Fantasy VII, and just a smattering of a couple other games. And then those two games together will require about 10 hours each. This is just the slowest game. And knowing it well doesn't really speed it up much. Like, you can't really make good character decisions in Final Fantasy IX because, like, you don't even have a control over who's in your party for a lot of the game. And you tend to, like, always get the same equipment and abilities at the same point in the game. I'm very fond of Final Fantasy IX, but it's the one that it's in the shuffler. It's the one I've replayed the least outside of 2, I would think. Oh, the old man wants to go to the Wind Shrine. Aw. Yo, I like this rust. I like this rust color. I think we're cooking with rust. That's just a cool color, man. Because you always like, oh, we'll play with blue or pink. You know what we'll do? Final Fantasy VII will let us change the color. And maybe we'll do, like, some... It'll let you go crazy. It'll let us go completely ham sandwich. I can make a ham sandwich. I got all this stuff. I got all this stuff. Oh, dude. What happens when you turn 44 is you reach a point in your life, like I've reached, where, like, just the thought of a sandwich you could make, very exciting. We haven't seen 7 for a hot minute. I think we saw 7 a little bit very early, but then we haven't for a hot minute. I wonder what's up. My forehead hurts because a man hit it with a sword. name for me. We're not changing characters' names in this shuffler. Who doesn't want to be cool? It's always weird how it feels like the game prompts like a player to input Keistis' name, but like it doesn't. It's like, oh, what was that person's name? Oh yeah, it was Keistis. And I say Keistis. I don't. Some people say Quistis. I don't say Quistis. I don't like how Quistis sounds on my tongue or in my ears, so I go with Keistis, and that's just the kind of. That's what you're going to hear going forward in this. We're going to get some gold early on, and we're going to buy some tents. And we're going to get the ability that we need to turn tents into Curagas, and then we're going to get the ability we need to junction Curagas to hit points, and then we're going to basically run the game at very low hit points, quote unquote low, because we'll have max hit points, we'll have like 3,000, and then quote unquote low hit points will be a few hundred, which is still going to be more than what you're supposed to have at that point in the game. And the end goal of this is that Squall will just use his limit break over and over and over and over. And that's how Final Fantasy VIII is going to go. And I love it, and you love it, and we all love it, and it's all great. And we're fighting goblins in this game as well. But I think for right now, we probably don't need anybody's meat. So I think the baby dragon we start with is just going to be awesome for a minute. So I don't really want... I'm going to give you the cure potion, I think, just so you have something to heal with. And I'm going to give you the shield, because your stats go up every time you equip something. So this man, Snow's stats will go up as he does stuff in combat, like he's a Final Fantasy II character. And Light's stats will just kind of go up randomly, and she'll just randomly learn abilities as she progresses in the game. And Fang's stats, the dragon, will be hard-coded to be whatever species of monster she is at any particular point. But Saz's stats go up based on what equipment he's got and how much equipment. So, what you do is, you have a robot character, you give them agility weapons. Every time you give them an agility weapon, it raises their agility a little bit, and then that agility gets factored into their damage equation when they make an attack. So if you load up a robot's entire inventory with agility weapons, they just turn into monsters, and they're fantastic. I'm into this kind of fog color we've got for Final Fantasy IV here. I think we're killing it on the window colors. I almost think we've got to do a terrible window color in Final Fantasy VII. I almost think we have to do a bad one on purpose. Alright. Noctis and the boys. Aranea is just one of the boys for this run. It's fine, you know? Like the show The Boys has one girl on it, and she's just one of like the boys. Like she's a boy even though she's a girl. Gender is a continuum anyway. It's like a gradient. Anyways. And also Prompto is too many letters. The good thing is my dog does not understand English or know what Final Fantasy is. And so he's not going to be upset that he's not in the game. I didn't squeeze the Final Fantasy X crew into any of these runs either. Oh yeah, this game's here. I forgot. Jump over the gap, dork. Man, that wasn't nice. He called me a dork. Y'all heard it. This game's funny because you can actually lose the tutorial encounter. Like, just sometimes randomly it'll get a critical hit and you'll die immediately, and it just lets you restart. That tower is either 6 feet away or 6,000 miles away, and I don't know which. Alright, first things first. Can I... I guess I can't change the... I guess I can't change anything in battle. I thought I could change my hit points to, like, actual numbers. Because, I'm sorry, the hit point bar just is not doing it for me. I'm not into that. We're not doing that. Rad. Nothing's on my mind, Keistis. Not really. I'm not even gonna stop. Whatever. Oh, it made me stop. At some point, he takes the bandage off his head. This game really needs a better localization. Like, it's like 80% of a good localization, but it's just not quite there. To the point where the first time I played it when I was a teenager, like, it's kind of hard to know what the characters are saying sometimes, like what the flow of conversation is like. Like that conversation we just saw between Squall and Keesis where it gets kind of awkward where she's trying to like finish his sentences. It's a little too early in the game to sell that kind of gimmick. And with the quality of localization that the game has, which is like 80% fine. Alright, don't forget to get the GFs out of the computer, because you got to download your Pokemons. I guess you do that in Pokemon, too, don't you? Is you download your Pokemon into a computer. Into someone's PC. Dun 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 dun. There's no Pokemon in this shuffler. There's no doubt in my mind that someone out there has done one of these shufflers with a bunch of Pokemon games. You never mind when Cypher gets yelled at. Oh, I'm gonna have to prevent myself from playing 16 hours of Triple Triad, aren't I? I'm probably not gonna go out of my way to get like crazy weapons really early. There is a way to get the best Squall weapon in the game on disc 1. It's doable. It's not fun. It's doable. There's a specific card you need to get a ton of. And there's only a couple places you can get it, and you can save in disc 1 in a position where you can't go back to get the card. You have to like save in a particular spot and then do card battles against one particular NPC, I think in Galbadia Garden. And then I think the cards you need are Elnoils. Then you take the Elnoil cards and you mod them down into pulse ammo, and then the pulse ammo is one of the components for Squall's ultimate weapon. This is where Free Enterprise starts, right here. Took us that long to get caught up. So yeah, we're burning through the intros in some of these games. Nine is going to take a minute. I don't consider myself out of the intro of Final Fantasy IX until I'm in the Evil Forest. And even then, you've got to, like, there's a whole bunch of cutscenes in the beginning of the Evil Forest. Like, there's a point in the Evil Forest scenario where Zidane, Steiner, and Vivi like embark out on the adventure to safeguard it. And I think at that moment, I consider that to be like, oh, we're done with the intro of Final Fantasy IX. At long last. I don't mind knocking Garland down, though. We're gonna just do it repeatedly. Always feels good to tweak this guy's nipples. We're gonna get Fran like a cure spell or something, don't worry. When we get back to town. I know, I cheated on Bosch's name a bit. It's not, he's not Bosch, he's Bash. I understand. Listen, I only had 4 letters to work with, and there's not another character in that game. Is there like a character in the game with 4-letter name? Like Balthier wouldn't fit. Hey, it's this lady. This is as far as we made it in Final Fantasy VII. Like, to me, the intro of Final Fantasy VII is over. Like, I guess when you get back to the first slum, to like the Sector 7 slums. So that's kind of like the first town of the game, right? And then you do the scene, like you can run around the town and get all the stuff, and then there's a scene you can do, and then you're off to the Sector 5 mission. But at least like there's like a playable intro, like you get to go through the reactor and fight monsters and stuff. That's all cool. My preference is for Final Fantasy VIII, because Final Fantasy VIII's intro, you get the cool cinematic, and then like a scene with the Doctor, and like a scene with Keistis, and then a scene in the classroom, and then you're done. They let you loose. You're allowed to leave immediately, go out to the world map. You can fight monsters, you can get gold, you can learn abilities for your GFs that you start the game with. You can go to the first town, you can buy stuff. You can get all the mod abilities. You can immediately start playing that game. You don't have to wait through anything. Final Fantasy VII, you got to play for 25 hours before you can even... What was I doing here? Well, I was done here. I was just equipping that shield, which I did. Yeah, you got to play for 25 hours before you even start getting, like, cool materia to even think about doing materia combos and stuff. Final Fantasy VIII, you can start doing like the cool, weird stuff immediately, and I love that about 8. Flame gets everybody, flame gets everybody, fire just gets you. We're not going to have Mr. S for long, unfortunately. Lizard's meat? Nah, we're good. A Light's HP goes up, and I'm happy. I think humans are just pure liability. Like, you can get incredibly stupidly strong monsters in this game. And robots are very, very easy to make really strong. And espers get really good abilities, especially for the early and mid-game. But I think humans just might be pure liability. So we're going to give the bow to you. Raise your agility a little bit. We're also going to give you this hammer. It's going to give you everything until there's nothing left to give. Dude, have you seen how sick my windows are in Final Fantasy VI? Have you seen the sick nasty with a $sign instead of an S, sick nasty windows that I'm rocking in Final Fantasy VI? I got this like dark jungle theme going on, and it's baller. We're going to have to make sure we give everybody in this game lowercase letter names. Otherwise, it's going to start everybody with all caps names. That's just something 6 does. I don't know why. I feel like Mystic Quest is going to be the first game off the docket, right? Because, yeah, like there's some games that we're not seeing very often, but that's all going to even out over the course of thousands of swaps. That's all going to... Like, over the course of 5,000 or 6,000 swaps, we will see about an equal amount of every game. Which means the earliest games that come off the docket are just going to be the fastest games to win. So Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Final Fantasy Dawn of Souls, I think that'll be second or third. Final Fantasy 1 is not a very long game, but it can be slow, and we might... There's portions of the game where we might get very unlucky. Have to play the Ice Cave 20 times. You never know. And depending on what happens in free enterprise, I tried to set free enterprise so we would have to do like a pretty much full clear. So we need to do 8 objectives. I haven't looked at my objectives. I guess it doesn't matter what the objectives are, really. But we can't just unlock and then go fight Zeromus. We actually have to do the objectives in the game, which is going to mean running around doing stuff throughout the game. Yeah, see, we don't need to use those south winds. And save those for Jin, which is a much harder boss fight. Haha, terrorism. Alright, I'm following... Oh, I gotta hold the button to run in this game. Alright. I like how those guys don't try to stop Barret. They only try to stop Cloud. No problem. Yeah, we've got to do something with the menu here. We're going to do, like, Tropical Breeze Skittles. Like we totes can. We can just get absolutely stupid with the menu in this game. Let's, yeah, here we go. Window color. All right, we're going to go top corner. No, we need top corner to be something dark. Like a dark green, I'm thinking. Like, there we go, like a forest green. This one, I think we can just do, like, go nutty with it. We like go for, like, coral orange, or like a coral color here. We start getting up into hot pink, magenta territory. I don't know about magenta. I think we have coral there. So we got like a green and a coral, and then up here we just go. We've already done green. We do like a light blue, right? Like a really pop, like a pop off. Oh, that's the wrong button. Shoot, I wasted half my Colts. Every time you equip something that has uses on a robot, you lose half of the uses of it. They try to do that to make sure that there's like a cost, I guess, for using the robot, since they just get better with equipment. But they also just refill every time you go to a town, so. But transitioning from 7, where the confirm button is circle, to this game where the confirm button is X, yeah. Just made me throw away half my gun. But I think that gives the gun, all the gun back. Yeah, gun. He recharges. Nobody else recharges their uses at. Where's Relics of Ancient Gods? I don't know. Nobody else gets our charges back. Only the robot does. So let's. So these are cool because they key off of intelligence, psi weapons. So that's going to be like our primary weapon on our Esper, on Light. So yeah, we got Final Fantasy 12, 13, 15, 16 represented in character names, if nothing else. No love for Final Fantasy 10. Not in this house. Not even a little bit. Honestly, if I could put PS2 games in the shuffler, I would put in 10, 2, and 12. And I think that would be cool. Don't use Nesticle to play this game, you guys. Don't do it. Nobody has booted up Nesticle since 1988, but just don't do it. You think this guy still gets email with that old, like, that old college account? I used Nesticle to play your game, and then my house burned down. I was indicted by a grand jury for using Nesticle. I don't know. 4 stout-hearted warriors shall trudge forward. I mean, we kind of already did that. But yeah, we trudging. So let's go like fighter, red mage, white mage, black mage. No, not a white mage. Oh, monk. Yeah, monk. We want a monk. Wait, what's happening here? Oh. Okay, we're going into the computer to get my GFs. I confused myself. Is it in here? Yeah. I am happy to keep GF names. I don't need to rename my GIFs. Heck yeah. Oh, cancel is triangle in this game? Oh, come on. Are you kidding? I'm done. So I got cancel buttons all over the controller. I'm pretty sure all 4 of the face buttons are used as cancel in at least one game. All right, I need to unequip everybody. Like for this, cancel is square. Anyway. We should try to give them jobs that like match their whatever, right? Well, we definitely need a fighter. Fighters are just great. Then I'm thinking Jill should be a Rediz. And Gav is cool. Like, Gav is cool, right? I think we do. Oh, we're going to need a white wizard at some point. Maybe we can change the jobs later, but I think this is what I want to start with. And then I think you go back there. And then I think we equip what we can. And nobody's got any arms yet. And really, we only go with Red Wizard because they get interesting weapons that we need to use later. I think monks are good in this. I know, like, the super monks later, like Monk 2.0 is very, very good. I do guess we'll find out. Here's the other job system game. We are nowhere near the job system yet. We are 100 swaps away from job system. We got to go through the whole first dungeon to get to job system in this. We got to go through the whole starting scenes to get to the town, to get to the other scenes before we can do the opening dungeon, before we get to the job system. So I guess in a way, like, your intro to Final Fantasy V really isn't over until you've completed the Wind Shrine. There's not really a consistent way to mark your passage through the intro from game to game. Like, it's a little different for every game. Some games, the intro is just like the opening scene. Some games includes like the opening combat or the whole first dungeon. Like 5 and 7, I think you've got to include the whole first dungeon, right? You got to include the Wind Shrine. You got to include the Sector 7 reactor. Is it Sector 7 or Sector 6? I don't know which reactor. It's one of the reactors that they try to blow up. They don't try. They do. They blow it up. They're terrorists. You play as terrorists in hit video game Final Fantasy 7. This has always been true. And we've just been okay with it since 1997. We've just all collectively, as a group, decided we're okay with this. I got to loot. I have looted the loot. All right. Then we just go straight to Provoca. I don't need to go up to the Matoya's cave. I don't need to get the treasures out of the Temple of the Fiends. Or the Chaos Shrine, or whatever we're calling it in this wackadoodle world. Oh, we were doing this. We were going to go like a bright blue, right? Oh, I hate it, but I love it, and I also hate it. I think we need to do blue down in the corner, too. We need to do like a... do like a sky blue down there. Welcome to Final Fantasy VII. The problem is, like, I feel like our green isn't strong enough. Do we need to do like a... Oh, we went through like vomit yellow there. Yeah, do we need like a stronger green? Nope. I don't like that. Yeah, the lighter you make the color, like the more vibrant, the more of the window it eats up. Hey, now I'm not sure I like this blue anymore. Do we want to try to get like a gold going? Do we want like a yellow kind of thing? Maybe an orange? I want to burn all of your retinas out. Welcome to my goddamn YouTube channel, losers. Look, like we were killing it on the window colors in all of these games. Like we got that cool rust and the cool fog, and like 7, no, they gave you the opportunity for like Jumbotron tropical freeze Skittles, and you gotta roll with it. Almost out of the intro in Final Fantasy IV. We're getting there. Oh my goodness. I booted up because I had done this project previously on stream for a couple of streams worth. We got 4 or 5 hours into several different games, which means we got 4 or 5 hours into all of the games, actually. So that's 40 some odd hours I put into that. But I booted up the save states, like just to see like where in the game I had stopped. When I reached the point in that project that I was like fed up and didn't want to stream it anymore, and I was doing Chocobo Hot and Cold, man. The first Chocobo Hot and Cold segment at the like towards the end of Disc 1 in Final Fantasy IX. That's where I had made it to. Sure, one step. Why not? One step, and these shadows are broken, and I don't know why. Cannot tell you. What is it? Just build the bridge. It doesn't have anything to do with the prophecies. It's a public works project. Do it because bridges are cool. Okay. Speaking of cool, saving is cool. Oh, inns are also cool. Getting our magic points back is the coolest of all. If you've not played this game before, I'm telling you, you're thinking 4 Black Mages sounds like a challenge party. And if this was the NES version of the game, you'd be right. That's a rough start. But we're going to cruise. We are just going to... It's going to be nonsense what we get up to. Like, it's not even going to be a rough start. Like, we're already overpowered. Because I can fight these guys. Each one's got 5. Yeah, let's fight them. Why not? If I run out of magic points, I will just run for monsters. Yo, Noctis got a ton of hit points and nobody else did. He rolled the big boy hit point. I don't think we need the bridge building scene and this scene as your little like prologue, right? Like the NES version only has this scene, And then they added the bridge building scene. It's kind of cool, I guess. What was I doing on the screen? Nothing. We were done. Yeah, we're done here. Everybody got all their stuff. Yeah. Alright, first save in Final Fantasy III. We're going to get rid of this party. Whoever those guys were, they're gone now. Gone forever. Okay, I gotta remember where all the stuff is in this. So we just buy pure. We might as well. Jill can have that. I should go to the inn and get some charges. Maybe I'll let it stay for free. I think they will. We gotta find out where the beds are. I guess we just walk up to the beds. We'll be fine. Great. So how am I getting off this hill? I guess we walk off the hill, don't we? I'm not walking. He's doing that on his own. And the hill's gone. Fantastic. And so, we go into the menu. We customize. Nope. We go into the... Oh, I guess we save over this. That's fine. We customize. Figure. That's what we want. Control, manual, message speed. We want that fast. We can do window color here, too. Whew, that gets real pink real fast. What are you doing? Don't do that. No, sir. We already have like a teal. That's it. That's our window color. Enjoy. No, not doing that. I don't want to do black either, though. We got a green. We got some rusts. We have a little bit of purple. What am I looking for? Like a nice, ooh, nice beige? Nice orange? What do I... This is interesting. Got like a... looks like the inside of a pencil. We can go full salmon. What if we pull it back a notch? Like this gold? You know what? We can do gold. In Final Fantasy Mystical Quest. Shrug. All we gotta do is push this rock out the way. We don't even have to fight any monsters yet. Say bye-bye to the float eyes. Great. I guess we'll loot the town. Why not? I feel like I already did this, but as you do. I'd rather have the treasures and not need them than need them and have that little girl be in my way. It's so weird walking into this inn and not seeing the dude sitting at the table over there. It is eerie. And don't forget to loot Rosa's house, or her mom's house, I guess. Rosa doesn't live here anymore. Does she live in the castle or something? There's not even a bed. I was about to say, like, Rosa doesn't have her own bed in her mom's house, but, like, Rosa's mom doesn't have a bed either. She's just laying on her rug. It is very disorienting to have this version of the game where you walk very slowly, and then Free Enterprise, we're running around like a crazy person. But that's the price you pay in the BizHawk Shuffler. Final Fantasy V, my intent is just have a thief in the party like all the time to ensure that I can just dash. I just want to be able to dash. And then, of course, in 6, you get sprint shoes. What sucks is... Oh, you know what? 5 might have me... You might have to push the button to dash as well. Oh, but yeah, this is a good window. We're going to enjoy these windows together, you and me.
My name is Claude.
What was Barrett doing? Was he over there taking a piss? Just like around the corner? Earlier marked X. Still marked X. Didn't change it. There's like no security. Like, yeah, I get we beat up the guys coming off the train, but you would think that, like, what do we got, like security bots here? Like, I guess the random encounters are meant to be the security, honestly. What am I thinking? Yeah, like these guys. Are these the MPs? I think these are MPs, and I only think that because I made a villainous card with MPs. Yeah, that's MPB. Don't worry about him. He's dead now. You guys seen that YouTube video of the guy who got level 99 on Cloud and Barrett in the first reactor? That probably took considerably longer than this insane shuffler project is going to take me. I feel like traditionally I change the window colors every disc in Final Fantasy VII. Like when we get to disc 2, I'll change them. It'll have disc 2 colors. It'll have disc 3 colors. But I'm feeling this like dark jungle motif for the whole game. Like we're gonna get to the World of Ruin. I think we just keep this. But I have confirmed that all of the games are working in the shuffler, which is good news. And we're working our way through the introduction scene in all of them, which is also good news. We've defeated Garland twice, which is good news. So nothing has crashed, nothing is broken, OBS is behaving, like it's going smoothly. You kind of sit down to record something like this, especially if you haven't done it for a long time, like I haven't. You almost expect like everything to go terribly. You know what I mean? You always expect like everything to break and explode. But no, I figured out how to deal with the aspect ratio and verified that my save states are working, and Final Fantasy II still sucks, but you can't win every battle all the time. It's just not reasonable. Sad to say. Yeah, this is the rust color is good. I like it. I think the coolness of the rust and the fog in Final Fantasy V and IV that we've got going justifies the eye-blasting horror that I have instilled in 7. And even then, like, 7 is still readable. It didn't turn into just like a pure whiteout like Mystic Quest did. I just didn't want blue boxes in every single game. I do want blue boxes in 9. We're going to get a chance to change our boxes in 9. I'll change that to blue because I prefer it. You only get 2 options, gray or blue. You can't pick your own color. So I'll pick blue there. And you can't pick the color in the earliest games either. It's black in 1 and 2, and then it's blue in 3, and you just got to enjoy it. Maria's HP went up. Great. Happy with that. What we're really looking for is Fist level 2. Then I'll be willing to move on with the story in this game, I think. And get a couple of HP levels as well. The question is, like, am I ever going to get my MP up, or is it just going to be using tomes? I think we just use tomes the whole way. I actually forget what the good strategy is for like long-term healing. Should I get a cure spell and devote one person to using it? So I have like at least one person who can do like out of battle cure. I don't know. The thing is, if we don't wear much armor... I bought armor, didn't I? I shouldn't have. No, I want to be running around naked so I get evade, don't I? Oh, I've ruined everything. We got the treasures here. We should leave. Oh, I don't want to fight this boss, though, yet. No, we got to come around the other way to get the treasures there. In fact, let's not go anywhere where there's a boss fight yet. Let's just do... like this cave up here now. A whole bunch of freebie treasures. Levy a spell, you know, in case we find Rydia in our All Edwards game. I really should be selling this stuff off as I get it. We don't need... yeah, I need to discard it. We don't need that stuff. We can't use the money anyway. We really only need Edward stuff. Let's get rid of it. Can't use it. Can't use it. Yeah, we can use that. Technically, Edge is an Edward. If you didn't know that, Edge's name, like his full character name, is Edward Geraldine. Yeah, that's the point, Barrett. Like, I joined the party. Like, I'm the one who wants to get the job done. Oh, do I need to set the message speed in this silly game? I didn't even look at the right... yeah, here we go. We want battle message, field message, all that. But, like, what is the security on these doors that we're just popping off, right? Are there boxes down here? There's a box. I love the weird, like, perfectly cubular boxes in Final Fantasy VII. Cubular. That's the word that I went with. That's what happens when it's 1:48 in the morning. And you've been playing every Final Fantasy game for hours. The world's going to end. Not my problem. Jeez, Cloud. Yo, Bosch pulled that out. Bosch walking away from that fight with 4 hit points. You do love to see it. We've almost passed Dawn of Souls. It won't last. I mean, they're on their way to Pravoka. We're probably 2 swaps away still. That lead will only grow with time. I need a cure spell, then I need the inn. And then we're moving on. You know what? I can get 2 cure spells. Then we're moving on. Actually, probably should have saved the money. Ooh, a save point. I know what a save point is. Thank you. Good night. Oh, we're getting rid of this party. They were 4 hours into the game. I don't think we had quite got Espers yet. I think that party was about to like head off towards Zozo, like wherever's you get the Espers in Zozo. That's what I meant to say. I have like a vague recollection that it took forever to get the Stray Cat Rage. Like, you don't want to move on in Final Fantasy VI without the Stray Cat Rage. You want Gao to get Stray Cat, then carry you through the whole first world. And I think my problem was, in the area where you first encounter Stray Cats, in order to see them later on the Veldt, because the Veldt doesn't show you individual monsters. The Veldt shows you monster formations that you have seen. And I think I had only seen one formation with Stray Cat. Whereas if I had seen multiple formations with Stray Cat, it would have been faster to find them on the Veldt. So maybe we'll try to get a couple of different Stray Cat formations in this playthrough. If I remember to do it, who knows. I wonder how he knows this is the monster that does that. Like, is he just assuming, or... Who knows? So what we'll do is we'll loot all the easy areas that we can get to without any combat, and then we'll... There are a couple other checks that are all guarded by bosses that will be more characters for us. Crystal Ring. Good, good. That's very good, actually. That's extremely good. Ooh. Yeah, that Edward is looking pretty good already. And you can have that old diamond ring. One Edward with an Artemis bow and a crystal ring can probably take down... I should have discarded that. Can probably take down the boss in the Mom Bomb slot, who is guarding one of my characters. I'll take a heal potion. Don't need a short sword. I will take arrows for sure. You know, we're gonna leave the ice arrows on for now, because I don't have an infinite source of arrows. We don't have a whole lot of them dropping off everywhere. You know what I mean? Okay, can I get this box first, please? I have boxed. Jump everywhere in Mystic Quest. Just absolutely everywhere. I like how she decided to come with us, like, before we even showed her the thing. Like, she was already talking about chopping down trees with her magic axe that she has. I like how every house in the game has one of these, like, weird light orbs. They just all have one. Okay. I promise me, and I promise you, that I am not going to go nuts attempting to steal every single thing from every boss. But I do think we need to steal the first dagger from... this first boss. Like, I'm happy with Zidane. Why does he jump in wearing a dragon head? Nobody knows. There's no way to find out. So every boss in the game has multiple steals you can get, and getting good equipment from bosses is pretty important because your equipment turns into your abilities in Final Fantasy IX. So getting access to certain abilities early can be beneficial. But the steal rates from various bosses is also pants. And you can easily spend like an hour trying to get all of a boss's steals, and I'm just not into that. Have I saved yet? I have not. Say goodbye to this party. Bye, guys. We made it to the underworld in the first attempt. Like, we got places. What are these weird lines all over everything? What is up with this ROM? I have a broken Final Fantasy IV ROM and I'm sad. It's not a Final Fantasy IV ROM, it's a Final Fantasy II North America ROM, but... You know, we got like these weird lines all over a bunch of the animations and monsters and stuff. Just gotta live with it. Just gotta keep on, keep it on. We're going to do a lot of running in Final Fantasy V. I do believe. There's no reason to really fight these monsters in 4, but through most of 4, we are going to want to fight the monsters. And in most games, it's just more fun to fight the monsters as you go anyway. Like, except for 2. Final Fantasy 2 is terrible. We all know this. One problem I'm going to have is there's not going to be like a good stopping point anywhere. It's just going to be swap flowing into swap, flowing into swap, flowing into swap. Like this swap coming right here. Right? All we can really do is... I can stop at any time and the game automatically save states where I am. And I can never lose more than 1 swap's worth of progress. But... I do think I'm coming up on the point where I want to think about stopping this video. You guys are all fast asleep by now. And what I hope doesn't happen to you is I hope you don't, like whatever YouTube's algorithm puts up next, I hope it's not like somebody really loud and obnoxious. Like I hope the algorithm, like watch Sears videos of his Final Fantasy challenge runs. Those are great videos to watch. Terrible videos to fall asleep to. Like if it lets you watch this and then the algorithm wants to give you Sears Final Fantasy II challenge video, you're going to wake up angry because he starts out very loud and he says bad words. So I do want to thank everybody for watching. I'm glad you came out to watch this video and I hope you're enjoying it, or I hope it helped you to fall asleep if that's the case. But I think next time I see a swap, that's where we're going to call it. And when we pick this up in the next video, we will just be wherever we are in all of these various Final Fantasy games. It gave me a long swap in Final Fantasy II. It gave me some time to get some work done in the menu in Final Fantasy II, which I guess I'm okay with. Guy has not gotten any hit points yet. We're just back to the grind. And so yeah, we're still not even to the first encounter in the intro in 9. 9 was a late bloomer. We're making our way through the intro in like 7. We gotta walk out to the world map in 8. The intro is still happening in 6 and in 5. Here's my last swap. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out. Sleep well.